And there's a mic. Oh, great. There goes that intro. All right, cool. Well, anywho, I got a new setup. Hopefully a more solid, stable mount for the camera so that it's not bouncing around every time. But we'll see. Give it a first try today. Got a bunch of Catachans. I got a hands on a couple of store limited edition models. Although one of them got misdirected in the mail, got sent to somebody else. I ended up getting their model. It was like got the Commissar Severina Rain from the Black Library series. I have that model already, so I'm working with the seller to get a new label to get that shipped off to the right person and have another one sent to me of the correct one. But that means I'm just missing out on my other kernel. So we've got the one command squad here on the side. So this side here, and I'll go with the powerful dude, very Sergeant Johnson looking guy, and we'll kind of just work my way from there. I do need to figure out which one of these I was going to use for what material, but I never got to test out the new contrast because I picked up a couple of new paints. But we're going to go with a very Vietnam theme stream today with the Catachans and the jungle fighters. That's Blood Angels Red. There we go. Ba, 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 ba. That's the wrong one. I have that so I can draw on the screen, but I want to see OBS itself for their info. There we go. Yeah, much more stable. Oh, hey, Otter. Welcome back to Nam. I actually forgot to check what spruce date they said this manufacturing was. These sprues were made in 1999. These particular plastic models is when they were like injection molded out, at least for the trooper guys. Some of the other character stuff are going to be a little bit on the newer end. Can you believe that? They just reboxed it. These are over 20-year-old models. They've just been sitting in storage until now they've finally ended up here, ready to be in service of the God Emperor. I actually have no idea how I plan to do these guys' squad markings. That'll be a problem for future commissar, i.e. in like 30 minutes. Maybe longer. Depending on how fast I can get through some of these early stages. I've got like no plan for paint order. I'm kind of just like throwing stuff on right now, seeing what sticks, and then I'll just adjust it as I go along the way. Most of this morning was just spent assembling these like 10 guys, 15, and like getting all the primer on them with the airbrush, because that was fighting me today. I had to get the right ratio of paint thinner to paint, and I was messing up and I kept getting it too thin or too thick, and it was just back and forth, and I kind of just gave up after a while. But I definitely need to get that more evened out before I get the rest of the squad going, or the platoon. Yeah, because it's got 3 more of these squads of like 10 guys I got to do, and another command squad for the Way Tracked Mini. Oh, hey, Cupid. Welcome, welcome. We're hanging out with the Space Nom models here. It's funny, as Catachans get as close to doors as like regular humans can get before you start getting to like actual differences, just because of how they live on a death world. So it's like a very high gravity planet filled with just about anything and everything that you could think of that's trying to kill you. Like the plants and vegetation are dangerous. There's tons of like wild animals, and it's just a natural recruiting ground for soldiers of the Imperium. Because if they can survive to adulthood on a planet that's out to kill them, they can generally survive most horrors of the universe. And so they've got this very, what is it, 70s, 80s themed movie hero aesthetic going. Boop. Let's see if I can get this so the mic's not blocking the camera, but I want to be able to hear or be heard. Grinding in WoWcraft, alright, alright. I can always respect the grind. There's the edge of the paint area. Let's see what this new paint does. I'll test it on the base here first, just so I can figure out how dark it actually goes. Okay. Hmm. Boo-doo-doo-doo. Give an experiment. Yeah, I was tempted to try to get all of these guys painted up by the weekend for a tournament, but I was like, nah, that's not going to happen. But I'm definitely going to get them painted out so I can get them on the table eventually. Otter, if you've seen the memes, you should know there's no heavy flamer in Space Marine 2. Is there one in the regular Space Marine? No, there's no heavy flamer in the regular Space Marine either. Or if there is a flamer, the enemies has them. Oh yeah, my computer at the very beginning of the test I had to like adjust so many settings to get it to run. But I don't know. For me, it was well worth it. I like the franchise a whole lot, so I was willing to put in the extra effort to get everything to run to try everything out before it came out for the regular release. Well, now that it's out now, I'm not playing it now, so I'm kind of like, eh. Non-Europe version of this song. Huh. Good to know. I think that's actually on this playlist somewhere, so. Bird, bird, bird. A bird is the word. I blame Flammy Guy for introducing me to this particular song. Hey, welcome Remnants Chaos. That is a distinct possibility. Let's see if I can raise that up. I can lower that down. That should kind of hit around below the average, at least according to what the little green bars say. So there we go. Also, because of the way everything's kind of set up, because I got this like bar that goes over the computer desk, it changes the regular position of my microphone. But if I bring the microphone too far down, it blocks the silly little VTube Studio camera on my iPhone. And so I'm stuck in this catch-22 of trying to like balance everything where it's supposed to be at until I adjust more of the spaces. I think I could probably rotate the camera to the other side because there's more space over there. But right now I'm kind of committed because of proximity to all the USB ports. Because everything's on my right, which is going to be, yeah, right over here. Because that's where the computer's based off. Meow, 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 meow. Just a bandana, it's just a bandana, okay. I feel like I should do a silly and toss in that Cyberpunk song in the playlist somewhere. Just to throw everybody off. Alright. I don't have a third color that I would figure I would want to use. Well, that's going to be an interesting thing to try to figure out. Messed up. Yeah, that one. The staying at somebody's house. It came up earlier on someone else's stream, and it just brought the funny back to me. I was like, oh no, the feels. They ended up switching the song because they panicked because they didn't realize what the heck was wrong with it. Yep. Very, very on brand. Go back here. Yeah, I can fit about there. That'll sit just still below my overall audio here. Or I could probably just, nah, I don't want to go back to that tab. That's effort. I can mess everything in here. And then that, yeah, that's a decent. We'll keep that on the 5 mark. And then everything kind of adjusts. Just about. It's a little more on the higher side. About here? About here. That kind of matches about that peak. Okay. Woo. Yeah, so I'm trying to work from lighter colors, and then I'm just going to work my way down to the darker ends, and that'll keep having to go back it over with the white paint to touch up to a minimum. At least that's my theory. We'll see how this goes in practice after I've done this like a half dozen times. I'm already losing the will continue. I don't know what I'm going to do their shirts. Woo. Although if I do get this group done in time by the weekend, I might use them, because I have 300 points to fill, and I'm just basically going to run a tank company. And so plan A is just all the sentinels and like an assassin. So like 3 sentinels and 3 scout sentinels and an assassin for the list, along with 10 various Legion Rush chassis. Or I can toss in these guys, because I think this gets me pretty darn close to the limit. I might have to do another squad, but that wouldn't be too hard to paint up. In like, what, 2 days? If I can get all of these done in one, I should be able to do Thursday after the collab stream with Taiga and who else was the other person? The third that she brought in was... Oh, that broke because of the other mode. Yeah, whatever. I'll have to come back to that. Let's see, that's 4. Number 5, we'll try the other color again. So that was the first one, here's the second one. I'll kind of keep it at that ratio. Maybe I'll try another color and then we'll adjust. Try to get some variation. contrast line of paints is really neat because of the what's it called, the design theory behind it is, you know, you just toss in a bunch of paint and it'll kind of like dry in a nice pattern that'll kind of like recess into the pool. So it's like a mix between like a wash and a regular paint, which is the opposite of like regular painting strategy where you like go really thin on the paint and build up several thin layers. But because of how contrast is so watery, you kind of like are supposed to paint on thick and kind of go back and touch up. And you could always go back with other layers. And since I don't like going back and forth over things just because I tend to overspray or overcorrect on things, it's easier to just have a one and done style and just call it good. And so having contrast paints come out has really brought up my painting numbers, so I'm actually getting stuff done compared to before, where it was just kind of like, maybe I'll get stuff filled in or not. Alright, so once that dries, I'll figure out which one of those two I want to use for the Sergeant Johnson special character. He's on a 32 base, although I don't think it'll matter too much. But he's super cool. He's a store anniversary limited edition model I managed to snag off eBay. I think we'll go with Slimearbo. The meme character. We'll get him started. And we'll kind of just shuffle back and forth between the characters and a small group of dudes to just keep motivation going. Because that's just what you gotta do to find ways to self-motivate to continue painting. As a treat, you can have a character. On the 5, can I just drag across? Yep. Let's see, interesting facts or, you know, background details of like the Catachans. They're like one of the few regiments that like despise commissars more than regular. Like they'll have unconfirmed, you know, reports of friendly fire incidents between, you know, the troopers and commissars, and just generally the nature of the missions that Catachans are brought on for. You know, anything kind of happens out in the jungle, you know? And if you get a guy who's a little too trigger happy and self-righteous and doesn't take the needs of the team into account, you know, things happen in the jungle. Ooh, I wonder how to paint the orcs. I don't know if I have any orc colors. Slimearbo. This particular character is like the Chuck Norris of like the 40k universe. So many amazing true stories about the deeds of heroism this guy's had. You know, classics of like, you know, he throws a frag grenade and kills 20 heretics, but he forgot to pull the pin and then it explodes or some other nonsense. Oh yeah, Beyblades. Yeah, I lost mine in a storage facility incident, so I'm kind of down my eBay rescue Beyblades, which I'm kind of sad about. Tiberius the Red Dank. Yeah, these are real GW Catachans. I got them off of. They did a restock recently, so I had ordered them a week or so ago. So the Marbo is Finecast, Sergeant Harker, and Ironhand Strachan here are metal or pewter models. Although I got those at the last time they did a GT in my area. They were just kind of sitting on the back burner until I can get the rest of the Catachans going to do a themed list. I wonder what happens if I just do a yellow. And we can just come back and tone it down with something else. We'll see. We're going to experiment. Are you? I'm probably pretty sure there's like a better color I could use for this, but maybe I should have gotten some contrast medium so I could thin it out a bit. Yeah. That's going to be a bit too much. Oh well, we're committed to the bit. We've got a Simpsons character now. How does that show up on the camera? Oh wow, that shows up really bright. Oh, I think it's because of the green background. It doesn't look too bad here in person, but now that I'm looking it up on the monitor, I'm like, oh, okay. I might give him blue hair just because to be like Marge. That'll be his squad name. He is Squad Mom. Do not disrespect Squad Mom. All right, let that dry for a second. We're definitely going to come back to that and touch that up with the other color. And we're just going to go back to Gilliman. Let's see if there's anything else I had. Skeleton Horde? Armor, Cryptic Armor Shade. Let's see what that does. We'll just do that on the grenade arm. I don't know if I'm going to toss it on the entire arm. Nah, it's a gloss. That doesn't sound good. How does this turn out? Yeah, this actually gets the color that I wanted. Alright, cool. Now I have a decent breakdown of that. Now it's just to find a ratio to adjust for everybody else. Alright, so that is 6. Yeah, 4 more? this guy needs to come back. Okay, so we've got the initial variety set. Now I want to figure out what I want to use. I guess we use the green for the pants. Go for a camo theme. I'll probably come back with the layer to add the other patterns down the line, but for now, we're just going to go with solid colors. I think I have another white, or I can probably use apothecary white to try to get a white t-shirt going for the classic undershirt look. What do I want the lasguns to be? Because I know I'll have gray for the barrel and whatnot, but do I stick with the same green as the pants for the protective case, or like the display casing? What's it called? Receiver? I think that's actual firearm turns. If I dig around for a bit in the old noggin. I don't have box art on these guys, so I don't have what that would look like. The instructions were in the old black and white from like 4th edition. Alright, let's see. Maybe you can wet blend this and it'll just let me go back. Or I'm going to have to go back in white and readjust everything. Alright, we'll see how that dries. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we could do that. Eat shorts and my plasma rifle. Yeah, the thing about plasma rifles is usually you don't get to hold on to those for too long. they are very give and take with their power. If you manage it right, it'll treat you well. But if you decide to like go a little ham with it, it'll leave you in some dire straits when you least expect it. Plasma shorts. Ah, you think you'd have enough time to throw it. Although, to be fair, there are a lot of like weapons in 40k that you could theoretically overcharge, namely like las guns, but there's not too much in the way of rules for them to actually do that on a tabletop. There is some in like, once you get to like the RPGs like Rogue Trader and whatnot, or like Death Watch, the old Fantasy Flight versions before they discontinued those. Oh, I never really got to play the role playing too often. I do have the Rogue Trader for the PC, so I might give that a shot. I played through a little bit on it before I started doing the whole streaming bit, so I might have to redo a new save because it's just been so long since I last played it, so I'm not going to know exactly what character build I was going for, anyways, so that'll be fine. Also, I kind of missed out on a lot of mechanics in the first run that I'll kind of want to take advantage of another playthrough. Refresh the paint pot. And we go. Okay, that does that. That goes around his arm there. That corner of the hand and the underarm. There we go. Wait, there was meaning to that song? Ooh, this one. Yeah, that's where I remember hearing it from. I don't think I've ever fully watched that movie in one go yet. I've always seen like parts and pieces of it whenever it would like show up on TV and back then. Heresy indeed. Okay. We'll go for a character. We'll do Sergeant Harker. We'll go for the theme of these guys are going to be Harker's squad, the Hellraisers. I might go back and find other bits for them to make them more standoutish. Hateful Eight. That sounds familiar. I think that might have been one of the few ones I actually watched. Oh yeah, Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction was good. I remember seeing that. I really like the wallet scene. Where they just don't care. They're doing business. There's such a pain to primer the pewter bottles because the paint would start rubbing off when I was trying to get them slotted into the slotted base because I didn't file down the symbols correctly. So it was just back and forth trying to shave a bit of metal off, try to slide it in, and then didn't fit, pull it out, and so I rubbed off a lot of the primer, and then we did the process again. Aha, alright. I'm gonna drag these guys out, see which one I was gonna use. Yeah. Okay, we'll do the wildwood. What's next? We're gonna do these 5, and then we'll do the last 2 characters. Yeah. Oh, okay, got it. He's technically part of the 5, that's right. Okay, so we'll do him last, so he's gonna get that one for sure. Let me take a look at this guy, see what I'm gonna use. Oh, he's got a face mask, okay. What's up, Doc? Doc's got the morphine. Oh yeah, look at these abs of steel this guy has. Yeah. I'm swapping between Girly Man Flesh and a couple others, but I'm primarily using that. Uh, this guy here, I use the Skeleton Horde. I believe this guy was Wildwood Contrast, and the one next to him was Gargak Sewer. And then Simpson over there was using the Bad Moon Yellow just because I wanted to see if I could add a third variation, but that didn't quite go as planned. So yeah, yeah. For what I could tell, it doesn't look like it, considering that Krieg are on like the next big list of things to get updated for next year. So that's kind of why I went ahead and pulled the trigger and got these guys, and I'll just help clear out some of that old stock they've got lying around. Because they also do decent enough on the tabletop for like utility wise, and so I'll paint to that. And also just the aesthetic is neat. Ooh, yeah, I saw those. I was really tempted on grabbing those, but since what is it, Shapeways went under, I'd have to like either find someone else to like fully 3D print it, or I'd have to start another hobby and figure out how to 3D print. Because it's I have an FDM printer, but for like models like infantry scale, it doesn't quite do too well. At least for like organics like this. You can kind of get something boxy, maybe like a Tau like crisis suit or something. You can probably get away with fudging. Um, but like getting like super detailed like guard infantry, not so much unless you go for like a very specific theme. And resin is tempting, but there's a lot of like process you have to go with resin just because of how depending on what type of resin you've got to like cure it and dispose of it correctly if you don't want to cause negative effects to the environment more so than normal. I know you could like dump it in a bucket and kind of like let it evaporate in the sun, but I don't quite have an area where I could just leave a thing out and about without something try to like take a drink out of it or whatever. Oh, my music died. Not for the base stuff. I had one that was gonna come in today, which was the Sergeant Ripper Jackson, but that was an error in shipping, and the eBay seller ended up sending me a someone else's model, and so now I gotta wait for the actual model to show up, and then the shipping label, so I can ship out model I got to whoever was supposed to get it. So that's going to be a fun postal tag to get going again. Well, I suppose not the absolute worst. At least I'm going to get it eventually. Do I have... I don't have a web browser set up, but I'm already going to be on the internet anyways. Okay, cool. That'll continue doing that. Let's see if I can get the picture for it at least. And I was going to use... Oh, no, I don't want a Reddit post. Not particularly if I can help it. That'll go there. Off to OBS, add a source, picture. There we go. Yeah, so I was gonna grab them, but that's fine. Save, and we'll just pull that up for later, I guess. We'll bring you down to about here, so you're over that, but below that, you can pop that up. Oh, wrong one, I wanted to lock it. Because that's where the badass is stored, Cupid. Okay, you guys back. I can start working on this area here. I always wondered why they had a heavy flamer option as like a war gear upgrade for the longest of times, and now I finally get to see one on a regular guardsman. And I was like, oh, that's why. That's neat. I'm definitely bringing one of these. I don't care how effective it is. It just looks cool. Oh, okay, that's right, because it went to a different tab here. This is not the same playlist. Go about there.
You
okay.
have the honor of serving me now.
Oh, hey! Welcome, Tyga. Welcome, Raiders. Just hanging about, painting some Catachans. As I gathered a bunch of collections of the some of the limited edition models. One of them I was saying earlier was give me. Does that work? That should work. There we go. Oh, nice. I'm like just short of finishing the campaign myself too. Although I've seen the ending a few times now, just because I was just idling on with some of the streamers to get some of the Twitch drops in the very beginning. I know someone beat it all in like 1 hour or 9 hours in just in one sitting. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Catachan's the knife people. Well, that's good to hear that it doesn't disappoint on that end, on the storytelling end. Yeah, I look forward to playing through some of the operations tomorrow with back to that. I am very Sly Barbo proud. Let's see, where is he? Is he visible over there? Yeah, he is. He's there in the corner. I've been just trying to get like 5 done at a time, and then going back to a character and just kind of like hot swapping back between the two as I go through like the major colors, just so I don't burn out on just painting nothing but the basic guardsman. That's kind of just where I'm at. Oh yeah, definitely the memes do tend to cross over a lot, especially once you like get them in an equal footing as to like Chuck Norris. It's great. My Sly Barbo is yet to do anything too impressive at the battlefield, but I'm looking forward to changing that in the near future. Ah, yes, the true way of passing along information is just by osmosis until eventually you're an expert and it's in your own way. Yes, yes, I squib. Let's see. I had a old Discord friend that was really into Tiberius the Red Wake, and that particular chapter of Marines. Although I don't seem to recall too much on that chapter, other than I just know that he was like a really big dude with like double lightning claws. Ooh, Felinids. I've got a buddy who did a small unit of guardsmen of Felinids as like the one exception that gets to leave the main planet. That's cool. Just spreading the joy of cat girls across the 41st millennium. Oh, that's right, I got tracking after this guy. Okay. Do do do. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm also in a deep process of trying to get a lore of like how I'm making my tabletop army like play into an overall narrative, so I can kind of like tie it in together with everything here. Because I've got the Catachans now. I have some old Kriegers, like the Forge World guys, and some of the Kill Team vets. Uh, a ton, like over like 120 of the regular guardsman models before they got the range update for the Ducadians and some of the Ducadians. And so I want to like build a theme based on kind of like Gladius or whatever, where like everybody got trapped and now we're forming like an ad hoc, not regiment, but like army group. Yes, tabletop is a very expensive hobby, but I I've built over time. Basically, it's not something that you like try to get every bottle in one go. I've been collecting since like 2000, and it's just like a box here, a box there, and just like paint along the way. And then sometimes when you do like tournaments, you can get prize support, and you'll woo, off it goes, and you can make up some of the costs or make some other purchases a little less eye watery. But I like traveling around for tournaments, so I'll do some of the local ones here and like the different game stores in the areas, or I'll head out to like Vegas to do like the big like West Coast tournament there at Las Vegas Open, or the up to Tacoma when GT Games Workshop does its GT over there. Counts as that's possible. It's doable for like if you're like in an area where you just want to get the game going through. But I think if you're gonna go for like actual just solid rule systems, I think there are a couple other games that you could probably do better off than GW. But if you want to stick around for the lore and whatnot, you kind of go with classic James Workshop. James Workshop, yes, yes. Yeah, lore for the Cato faction. Yeah, there's just so many directions you can just go with that, just for like how they aligned or whether they were tricked or were driven by their desires, or they're going to be like undivided, or if they were going to follow like a particular deity in chaos. And then yeah, tournaments. You can get like some really big collection of people who pay for a buy-in, and then they do a series of games in a day, and then whoever has like the highest win ratio ends up placing higher. And you can get like a little bit more nuance. Some of the bigger ones will like break it up into like multiple days, and you'll have 3 games, 4 games, and then they'll break you into like separate brackets. So like the top 32 will play for like first overall place, and then you get people divvied out into their win loss ratios to finish out the rest. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Mika. Indeed. It's such a neat setting where anything and everything can go. Because at some point, whether someone's observation or some power of the warp, it'll happen. Because in the end, they're all your dudes. And you can kind of do whatever. At least lore wise. Once you get to like competitive play, it's not so much as lore as in trying to keep things on a balanced field, in keeping with the different themes. Okay. And then that'll be that. We'll do Straken. Straken. And then we can start working on the pants. The fancy pants. Hmm. How do I want to do this? So, I could stick with a classic scheme. Kind of. I don't know if I have another green. I don't have another green. Right, I have the one contrast. Oh, is this another green? No, that's supposed to be Apothecary White. Woo. That's a microphone. Gray, Black Legion. I don't have anything that'll quite tone shift that. I've got a really bright green Tesseract Glow. I think that color got discontinued, which is like super bright. I have no idea what I would even use that for. I don't even have any plasma weapons to try it out on. Hmm. I don't know. It's very mixed on my end. Like I said, it's a really bright color. I remember trying to use it on a Chaos Guy that I had lying around. It was the old Exalted Champion, I think, before. Hmm. None of the boots will be black. I can do that last. White t-shirts. We'll do the leather stuff. Gore, grunt the fur. Where you at? That's orange. Ooh, I did yellow. I could have done that. Ultramarine blue. No, not that one. Those reds. Ooh, Doomfire magenta. Flesh Terror's red. Should I go with the red on that? There they are. Oh, that's right. I meant to get the rest of Strachan here. Because he's half bionic. So I gotta remember not to do the other half. That's his left arm. His right. No. Yeah, his right arm. My left. Because he's facing me. And so it's always tricky to try to remember. And then the camera's upside down because I got a new stand. Because last time it was a little bit too shaky for me as I hit the table. Because this wasn't specifically desk for a gooseneck to attach to. I got a one of those simulator chairs because I was gonna really get into Star Wars X-wing at one point. I was gonna get like a VR headset and like some joystick nonsense and attach it all together, but the one controller set I wanted to go with, the throttles, the VKB, were just taking forever to release. I think they released fairly recently, but I'm kind of moved on to other things since then, so I'm like, I don't want to pop out for a throttle and everything else that I don't particularly plan to use anytime soon, considering I've got all this other stuff I want to catch up on. Oh yeah, VR chat stuff. Yeah, I need to get a. I really want to get a model for that eventually, but I've tried a couple of the other things. I went and got some of the Harithorax motion trackers, and that was cool. But I haven't quite been able to get them to sync up to do other things because I wanted to do like the little shorts and like full body tracking for random nonsense. But once again, it's another hobby that takes away from 40K, and it's like, I really like 40K though. I don't know. I don't know if you could tell. uh, there's only so much you can shortcut with a budget, and a lot more you have to just do by hand. All right, so if I go 1, we go back to 5, 1, 5, 1. 5. Okay, so I have to do a character first. Okay, and that'll keep me on track per se. I think gray is a lighter color than. Yeah, we'll do brown. Brown. We'll get all the leather belts and pouches. What was funny is my original handle that I wanted to go with, like back in my like Xbox 360 days, was Scout Marine, because I really loved Scout Marines and like on how they worked on it in like the Space Marine lore as like elite special operations forces dudes that were like on the way of becoming a Space Marine. But I kept getting running into people who were thinking that I was part of like the American Armed Forces Marines and like that particular thing. And I was like, no, I kind of want to stray away from that because that gets a little complicated dealing with that. It's like, no. This is a fictional universe thing, 40K. So I ended up sticking with Commissar. Those are my origin stories. I also like the shorthand of Kami just because of how it rings and then how you can play into the joke of communism, even though not really. Ooh, what do I do with that? Okay, that's a pouch. I can do that. Oh, that's probably for his plasma pistol that he supposedly has. Because I think he has both a ranged, a shotgun, or power, plasma pistol, shotgun, and a power sword. This dude's just armed to the teeth. Yeah, crack grenade, boots will be black. Let's go to the Google box and see some color schemes I can borrow. No, not picture. I want that one. Love Struck, Love Child. Yeah, it's always a process of just trying to like figure out something that encapsulates everything in like one word, you know. Yeah, because once you get that like inner name in your head, like locked or in somebody else's head locked in, you know, they kind of just stick with it until the end of days. Urban jungle, urban camouflage, catachans. No, I guess I could use the same armor color as their pants. All right, that's not too big of a deal then. The pants will just do another color like camo pattern eventually. And that'll be a layer color, not active. Cool, cool, cool. All right, that solves that problem. Put that down there, and that goes back here. Sergeant Major Johnson. Uh, Cupid. When did he say that? Oh no, Otter. It might have been one of like his like. Is it like an idle line or is this something he says in a cutscene? No, it's what, a couple days after release, full release, and it's a fairly optimized game considering like the past record of most industry games. Oh, okay, it's a legendary cutscene. Yeah, Halo 2 was was not a game that I did on legendary. Back then, I did a quick playthrough of Halo 2 because a friend let me borrow his copy of it when I was in not grade school. Yeah, I guess it would be grade school. I forget what grade it was actually in. It was back when I was down in like Georgia. But yeah, so I just did a quick playthrough of it in heroic, and I haven't gotten back around to it since. I've done like a little bit here and there on like the Master Chief collection, but I don't know about going through like a full legendary playthrough. Okay, so Strachan's here. He's got that. So you'll be one. You'll be the last one, and then you five will go there. So Marvel will come up front. This guy will go back. And we'll bring the squad forward as I work through. Let's move the paint so I don't knock that over, because that's always a pain if your contrast spills. 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, and then these 5. Yeah, this guy's Foxcaster. I guess the flight they were supposed to go forward. Oh well. And that'll be paint order. So these 5 character, those 5 character, and then we kind of just work my way back up. I mean, it's only like 62 gigs instead of like 300 something. And considering the amount of content you're going through, you've got a full campaign, you've got the weird operations, and then you've got multiplayer. I guess there's no like open world like sandbox or free for all battle royale thing, but whatever. Speaking of which, that's kind of what got me into 40K was one of those Games Workshop demo games they had at the time back when the fourth edition of the game was about. My original Xbox that I had a bunch of like old like Battlefront 2 saves and everything was appropriated by my dad after a while, and he ended up using it to build a media center because he had learned a bunch of tricks when he went out on deployment, and he would get a bunch of like movies and whatnot because they would be out of country, and so he would use that to like twist it about to save stuff for when he was out. Sputnik skull. Oh yes, all the explosions are bigger. I'm pretty sure that's what that did. Grunt Birthday Party is always a classic. You gotta have that on all the time. Back in Halo 3 days, I remember trying to go for the Hayabusa skull or helmet, not skull, the armor, trying to get that piece. That was a fun weekend trying to get the legendary ending there with 4 ghosts. It was a marathon where you had to do it on like on a certain day of the month and a year because Bungie was like that, just Easter eggs and Easter eggs. Torn. I moved them too close so that I could organize them, but now they're too close that I got to make sure I keep them on camera when I paint them. Oh yeah, just like plasma grenade on a tire and just jump in and cross the map. Classic. Yeah, they can go back there. They're done in the cycle, so I don't have to worry about spacing. Bum, bum, bum. Wee. It's gonna be a pain to figure out later. I feel like I've heard this song before. Although technically now it's gone well past the first playlist, so it's kind of just doing its own thing right now. It is possessed since I did not decide to organize it for how long I was supposed to be going. And really, I'm just going to continue till I get these guys done. Once I get this blob done. Otter. The one Otter sitting down in the front. What can I do for you? Ooh, is that colored differently? I mean, that is a distinct possibility, but it's on the rarer side. It looks like I can use that armband as a squad marking. Okay. I'll leave that for now. I have no idea what color I'm going to use for squads. So I don't think I really need to do much pouch-wise for this particular model. Oh, because those on the pants cargos can be cargos. Okay, standard heat between 80 and 100. Alright, alright. Have you tried upgrading your cooling system? I hear liquid cooling's all the rage these days. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you get really fancy, you can get Gamer Girl bath water cooled. You can boil his PC. I didn't think, I mean, I did have issues too, but I don't know if that's my graphics card is not seated properly or something else. Because occasionally when I have like Space Marine loaded up and like another tab or two, like with Twitch, it'll send my graphics card into like emergency mode and it'll turn off my monitors and it'll start spinning up the fans real fast. But a couple restarts and it'll go back to normal for a bit. So I have no idea what's going on, and I will continue to do that way until I am told otherwise. I mean, it's not literally an everyone problem, considering that I don't have the issue, or maybe I'm just ignorant of said issue. Like, where would I even check for that? You know, like, I guess I'll just have like a Control Delete open and have that benchmarking on the side. Temp. Does that work? Ooh. I'll come back to that. Meant to fix that. Need to figure out a background for that. I think I'm gonna get like one of my display towers and have that be there in the background. Get like a monitor or something. Who knows? Like, how recent were these reviews that you said that everybody's having this problem? Is it because of like the last update that they just did the other or earlier today? But yeah, trying to diagnose computer stuff. That's a little out of my wheelhouse. I'd probably bug Robo about it. Just add him like 5 times for me. Okay, that's supposed to be a holster for that. Yeah, but Otter and I are supposed to play later in the evening tomorrow. Finally convinced him after. I mean, isn't that the purpose of the water cooling is to boil? I failed to see the problem here, Otter. Don't tell me you swim in your PC's coolant. like you've already toggled with some of the like the graphic settings to see if it was any of those. Sometimes it like benchmarks you like to like super high graphics for no reason. New Crisis. I don't think I've ever played that. I've seen it a little bit, but every time I see Crisis, I think of that arcade game that I see in the movie theaters where you have to like step on the pedals to pop up and down your character. Which is most definitely not the game you're talking about. Ooh. Yeah. I think if you were gonna do that, you'd have to do all of them in like one go and kind of like go for like a cured status. Cured, not kind of like dry it out or like jerky it and so forth. Like I'm pretty sure it's only supposed to stay at like fridge temps for like a few days at a time. So I don't know how long you had planned this particular escapade. What thread are you talking about there, Otter? Was it like the computer error thread, or was this talking about just like a general like Space Marine 2? I think how many colors is this? 3. You got 1, 2, green for the pants, and then I guess 4 for the other uniform bit. Okay, that'll keep me to the minimal, and then I just gotta base everything in the mud, because everybody's on a mud world. The heat issue thread. I mean, considering like the music technology at the time, it could have been a possibility, and they decided to roll with it, like it was like completely on accident. Yeah, here's hoping, Otter. How do you get his shoulder here? Yeah. There you go, close enough. Alright, looks like this guy doesn't have any pouches. Cool. I'll take it. Ooh, foil. Alright, alright. This sounds like what the Super Earth did for their probes. They encase their probes in aluminum alloy. Man, I wonder what Helldivers 2 is going to be doing in the next coming weeks. I've had a lot of time away. I popped in a bit every now and then to check to see if they did anything cool on the new faction or not, but we'll see if they'll show up. I don't know what their time frame is going to be. Oh, he's got an arm pouch. No possible way this plant could go wrong. Yeah, definitely not. Having a conductive material piped around sensitive high heat items in a circular motion could definitely not have any issues whatsoever. Ooh, Voxcaster, okay. I think this one might have some pouch. Yeah, it's sitting in a pouch. Also got a bunch of Ogren I want to paint up, but definitely not this stream. It's gonna be on another day because I have to like assemble the models and everything, and that's just tedious. And that's something where I'd just brain off, watch something in the background. Here and kind of like go back and forth between while waiting for things to dry. And whoa, that was not supposed to rotate like that. Ah, yes, the strap on the sling. Head empty. No thoughts. Only 40k. Only the Emperor. Fine dining and breathing. And even then I missed that a bit. Close enough. Boop. Boop. And you don't have anything. Perfect. I think I'll do... No, boots will be last. I'll do green next after this. 6 guys. Okay. I was wondering when Iron Man was going to show up. Jeez. Although I feel this would have been more fitting if it had played when Strachan was on screen. I've always wondered about the lore behind Iron Man and the song Black Sabbath. What's up, Otter? Did it magically work all of a sudden? Or did your computer explode? And you're currently messaging me from a phone or something. Sci-fi Frankenstein. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Listen, Otter, you paid for the whole CPU. You've got to use the whole CPU. Just saying. I mean, use your PC how you like, but that's my philosophy. Ooh, I could use the fluorescent green for the plant. Actually, I want to test that out right now just so I can see what it looks like. We'll switch colors for a second. This is a quick palette break. Ooh, I did not clean the brush off well enough. Oops. Dang, that does sound like a lot of issues. Oh, maybe I should have left the brown in. It added a nice tinge. That's fine. It'll give that a natural gradient as you like wet blend between the two. I don't want to make the box. Okay, it's catching light a bit. There's no highlight there that's actually colored. I'm using the camera now to see. Oh, interesting. Ogrin. Let's see. I have the box over here. Oh yeah, Dark Tide. These silly little fellows. The box is much larger than I thought it was going to be. They are. They are the Emperor's bestest boys. I think old lore is they hated like confined spaces, so it took like a bucket of snacks and like a commissar or whatever to like lead them in so they would get in transports and whatnot. So I plan to get build 3 of these guys to finish out a group of 6, and then do like 6 of these guys, and then I've got some of the what is it called, Necrobunda ones, and I was just gonna kit bash them with leftover pieces here to make a bodyguard units to like follow around the officers and kind of go for the whole shirtless theme. No, they're abhumans, so like they're humans, but mutations that are like deemed not too heretical, and so they're kind of just kept around. They kind of have like the mental intelligence of like children, although there's some that are smarter than average, and they get like cybernetic implants to be able to follow orders and lead their brethren effectively, and they'll become like squad leaders. Let's see. But yeah, there are all Ogren squads, and they're huge. These guys are even bigger than Space Marines. They like dwarf over them. They're very Lenny-esque. They're the gentle giants that don't know their own strength until you point them in the direction of the enemy and say, "Hey, these are the guys you need to fight." Well, a Marine is more like genetically modified with like specific enhancements. These dudes are just like really big, like giants of men. In short bursts, they'll be stronger than a Marine, but the Marine would do better in the long term just because of the intelligence and like strategizing and so forth. All right, heavy flamer. How are we gonna paint you? Hose pipe. Is this gonna be a metal cage or a leather cage? Okay, this will be leather. We'll just do the barrels in metal. Barrels. Brother, get the flamer. The heavy flamer. Ba, wah, wah, wah. I did do that out of order. Oh well. It's not too big of a deal. Okay, how much of this is... Okay, all of it. Not all of it. It's halfway points where I was kind of having difficulty seeing because of the glare from the extra light. Makes it show up better on camera, but sometimes the angles get washed out for me. Yeah, this weekend, I'm definitely going to try to make an extra effort to get all the details of the event so I can do an after action battle report to kind of like hit the highlights and figure out the state of play for my area and see what else I'm going to build down the line. I don't know if I mentioned it anywhere else or earlier today, but the theme I'm going to end up going with is just a bunch of tanks. A full tank company in all of its glory. Because I really want to leverage the new FAQ where they gave everything lethal hits, basically. So from a competitive standpoint, I'll have a bunch of high-strength weapons that I'm not going to worry about too much of automatically wounding infantry, and enough blast and stuff to start forcing enough sixes to cause concern to other vehicles and high toughness armies. I wonder what I'm going to paint this banner as. What are your company colors going to be? Nothing else super out of the way I need to worry about. Nope. Yeah, I'll just come back to that later. The front pouch is supposed to be white. That's supposed to be the medic doodad. We'll leave the first flap white where the medic symbol is, and everything else will be this color. That's the plan. We'll see if I don't mess it up in the first 5 minutes. The bone saw. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, if you're like doing like combat triage, just cut off the limb, they can replace it with something robotic later on just because of how sci-fi it is. I guess it depends on how transhumanism you are. Like, maybe like a fantasy setting, sure. I wouldn't mind, like robotic nonsense as like a character, but me personally, I don't know. I don't know about that, Chief. for backpack straps? No, that's just uniform. Okay. That's it for that guy. Down to the last model. We change major colors again. Go for the uniform, and then we'll do equipment last, I think. Pouch, pouch. Paint this. I think I'll do it the other color. And we'll have the scabbard be that. Maybe I should have sub-assembled this guy just because of how gribbly everything is. That works. Alright, how far does this holster go? Wait, I gotta get the back of the binoculars. I think I only hit it from the front earlier. Yeah. Almost did an oopsie. Alright, cool. Slowly coming together. Yeah, I'm just gonna do green for the vests, the pants. The undershirt will stay white. Basically, all the armored parts will be the same green. Okay. Wow, that really got me there for the first time. I was like, oh, is that like something buzzing? No, it's just a guitar. We'll do your squad first, and then we'll work back through everybody. Just morbid all over the pants. Alright, starting to look more Catachan. Ooh, did it yell at me again? Yeah, it yelled at me again. It's like you've been listening for way too long. You need to stop. Like I didn't have a las gun. I gotta make sure I go back and give him one. Oops. He's supposed to have one. I gotta toss it on his backpack or something. I was like, what did I paint the las gun casings like? Because I remember having a debate about that, what I was going to do for that earlier, but that was the first one I did. And it wasn't there. Yeah, we'll just make it all green. Whatever. That's the story, and I'm sticking with it. So close. We're almost there. I can feel it. Oops, so let's go that high on this guy's shirt. They all look the same. Okay, gotta reset the bristles. Take a step back. Yeah, it seems like this is just the instrumental. Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, the rest of this for the next like half of the playlist is nothing but instrumentals of the previous songs. That's cool. I have to keep this bookmark for later because that's handy in and of itself. I don't know. I think it'd be useful, like if you want to do like karaoke practice, you can kind of get the just the music and go at it. Just find a way to time the lyrics and yeah, just do that. It'll be like the armor on the last gun. Mm, do the armor bits like this, but maybe the hydraulic says nah. It'll be just one color. It's getting a little too in depth for my purposes. says this is supposed to be instrumentals. Why do I hear a voice? I've been lied to. Okay. That'll be it for that squad for now. We'll come back again later to do another round of color for the boots and the weapons. Then I'll probably do a touch up on everything off stream on another date. Or not. Motivation's weird like that. Technically he's a character. Not really. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll do Harker. Then 5 and Marbo. Okay. That's right. Let's switch the music. Where to go? Where to go? We can hit. Ooh, we can go Disturbed. I don't know, so many decisions. Yeah. Go Awesome Mix. See how that goes for a bit. This will be good for an hour. Alright. Back to the grind. Doo-doo. Oh, they should have hit the bolter shade with some brown. Oh well. I'll have to come back for that, I guess. Just a group of plucky guardsmen just vibing across the battlefield. Dude, the other guy's gone. Oops. Back to that. Man, some of these older models were a pain because the design philosophy for assembling these back in the days, you would have to cut specific parts off the model so that they would fit in with like the predetermined arms. So the arms are fairly monoposed, and you have to cut the buttstock and the trigger off and the grip so that it would line up with the hands. Because you can also use the las guns as like decorative pieces for other things. And so getting those to line up was an adventure. Because I hadn't done that in a while. Because a lot of the newer stuff, it's already posed in with the hand on the weapon itself. As GW has evolved since the beginning days. Because I remember a lot of the old tacticals were like that too, where you had to like take off the pistol grip. Not anymore. But also that means there's a little bit less posability. Because if I really wanted to get into it, I could like get green stuff and start cutting into the arms and get some different angles going. Which is significantly harder to do when everything's kind of already built in. I mean, it's still doable. It just takes a lot more effort comparatively when you had like the full range of the weapon to cut down from. Now you may be stuck with a third of the bolter already missing. Or bolt rifle or plasma nonsense. Alright, do you have a shirt or do you have a vest? You have a shirt. Okay, so that's going to stay white. To the best of my ability. So I'm just straight pants here. Oh yeah, this song's definitely up there on music I don't mind replaying. Woo, there goes the model. Yeah, we found it. Got it on the keyboard. You a vest or shirt? You're vest. Little flak vest. Who reads a paper in bed? You know? Have you held a newspaper? Those things are huge, loud, and crinkly. I don't know how well that song translates. I can't believe those are both euphemisms. Who would do that on a newspaper where anybody could read it? It's a euphemism for hand holding. It's you. Yipper. Okay. That should be their 5. And then we get Marbo. With a suppressed Mac 10. really not much going for it besides nostalgia at this point for me for it. It's a scope suppressed machine pistol. I don't know how that's supposed to work considering how recoil works. But you know what? I'll trust him. His arms are bigger than mine. I assume he's got some death grip on that. I keep forgetting that the music doesn't show up in the VOD, so it's just gonna be me just jamming out. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Nobody's gonna hear this. Because Twitch doesn't like fun. I remember Shark Tale. Probably been the orc head. He just carries it around as a set piece. Oh yeah, that sounds like a vibe. You character, and the group. Alright, this guy's the best. But I'll reset the brush and get some water. Okay. 2 more colors. Finish off the green here. A gray. Oh, the boots. Yeah. Almost there. And then other random touch-ups that I'm missing throughout the ways. Because the squad markings on the bandanas and whatnot are going to be something I'll work out later. Just so I can keep track of who's who. I'll probably do like markings on the base for the time being. Although, at least for the first 2 squads, I could kind of tell the difference between the who's in the command squad and who's in a regular squad just because of the weapon loadouts. Are you a shirt or are you a vest? Looks like a shirt. Yeah, the sergeant. All right. I was dying. It was a little too slow. definitely just a shirt. Okay. Okay. Let's do touch up on Strachan here. I forgot his head. I just wasn't sure which part of it broke down into cybernetics or not. Let's see. Gray for the armor. Not armor. Weapons. I'm gonna fix that guy's pouches here because I missed that angle and that's bothering me. There we go. spots here and there. I wonder what kind of skull that is on his side here. That he's just carrying around as a trophy. Oh well, no matter. Okay, let me just work backwards again. Yeah. Black Legion's next after the gray, so Basilicum Gray. I'm gonna go to New Vegas radio for a bit. I'm just gonna derp through that for a bit. Okay. Oh yeah, it's gotten me through many a workday at work. Real. Does she actually use that? I thought it was the Suna thing to reference her. Oh, she does? Alright, cool, cool, cool. I'll have to keep that in mind. Add it to the lore. Wasn't supposed to do the character first, oops. I just got hooked on working backwards. That it was like, ah, yeah, we'll just do that. The numbers. Man, I wish I could whistle. In like a more like intoned, intentional way. I can get like one, but I couldn't like vary its tone. Oops, I forgot his pistol. Oh well. That's an easy fix later on. What's that? Oh, uh, who would have thought? Who would have thought? Oh, they changed contrast. Neat. They are a vibe, that's for sure. For real, for real. Yeah, at this point, I'm just gonna keep this guy as is. He's got yellow fever. We'll call it good. This is my new headcanon, or lore. I wonder how long this tent is going to stay attached. It doesn't seem super flimsy, but I don't know how storage is going to work with those. The other ones for the regular guard seemed a lot more sturdy, so it wasn't as much of a question as these are. Ooh, that's running out of power. Okay. It's not like I was using much. It's neat. But unfortunately, the pose does not let me take too much advantage of the model. You'd think there'd be like ways to like program idle animations, you know? Just bounce. Ah, the song. Yeah, I don't doubt it. It's not exactly a exclusive playlist, and you know, whoever built it probably was just looking at what kind of played. I doubt there's like a hard and fast list of what actually ends up playing overall. Oh man, I'm going through it. Let's see, let's close that, or move that out of the way so I don't knock it. I want to re-rank and file everybody so I can be set up to start doing the final, air quote, final colors. A unique, actual upgrade character. You're a fancy model, but you're technically just the commander, and we'll do that. Alright. glasses. It's got the fancy stick. Oh yeah, definitely this song. Really? That's funny. I kind of like the song. Unironically. Strange, because I don't know. To me, it sounds like just about like any other like song of like longing or whatever. But I could pop forward a bit. I mean, I didn't mind the song, but that's the reason why I switched from the other playlist is because it was getting a little draggy and I was like dozing off, so I needed a little bit more upbeat. So, usually New Vegas has enough like idle music to keep you going. Although I don't think it's going to go to the worst case where I'm going to have to go to like sea shanties. Oh, I should have gone to like Black Flag sea shanties. I'll have to do that next time. Next week for sure. For no other reason than just shanty. Because I've got plenty more guardsmen to paint. Don't you worry. It'll just keep and keep and keep. So many guardsmen. Because I've still got some more Cadians that I need to touch up. I've got like 20 Rough Riders for sure that need to get done. And they've got a complicated color scheme. Because you've got the horse, you've got the rider. And then the horse has armor and the rider has armor. And I don't know if I was going to keep them the same color. I think I ended up going with gray for that particular unit type. But my hand is starting to cramp, so I might have to call it a little sooner than I thought. Oh, that'd be cool. Not as bad as that one guy who like went to the jukebox and like played like 50 times of that one song. They had to like unplug it because it kept playing even though they unplugged it and plugged it back in because it was just stuck. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call it early. I would love to have finished at least another set of colors, or even no. I want to try to get the last of this gray on this heavy bolter. Yeah, Tom Jones. You know, actually, I'm gonna end on that. What was the name of the Tom Jones song? It's not unusual. That's right. Dun, 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 dun. All right, I'm gonna get this last heavy bolter on this guy done, and some of the other like prime details, and then we'll look to see about raiding out. If I don't drive, oh, what's the Pussycat? That's right. I can't remember. Oh, that's right. It was a Tom Mulaney, Jim Mulaney bit where he was talking about it. John Mulaney? I don't know. I'll have to look it up later. Oh no, my will to live is sapping. this is not. This is not the reverse troll that I thought it was going to be. I can't paint fast enough. Whoa, because you can't tell if it's a new song or if it's the same one. Okay, so I wasn't entirely wrong with my song choice. You know, now that I'm listening to this song, this sounds way worse than I originally thought it was. Not like as in bad, but as in like lyrics wise. It's like, oh yeah, it's just a neat little song. It's like, oh, it's that kind of cat. Alrighty. Yeah, I still got plenty of colors because I still need to do the flag. What people that do have hair I need to get done, but I want to do that on like on a more like overall basis, maybe. Who knows? Just so that I can just make sure that they're different enough and I don't copy on models, basically. Because there's only these 10 guys. I mean, there's like maybe like one or two head variations that I didn't get to use on this squad, so I got to try to keep it random. Alright, let's see. Twitch. Make sure the tab's muted so I don't get a weird echo. Alright, who do I know that's on? It's what? 7:30 my time on a Wednesday night? Anybody playing Space Marine? Surprisingly, nobody playing Space Marine. Check that. And we'll see Warhammer. See if anybody else is doing painting right now. Do do do. No. Was fast enough. Alright, this guy's painting a custody, so we'll keep along the painting arc for those that still stayed. Channel chat. Nope. It's that one. But yeah, once again, I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by, hanging out. Had to cut a little early just because the hand was cramping, but tomorrow playing with Taiga, with some Space Marine 2, going through some operations, and then next week we'll just continue painting on some more guardsmen. I'll probably do a tank next week just for the large scale model. I've got a hellhound, a couple hellhounds I want to do, so that'll be my plan. Alrighty. Peace out, yo. Do 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 do.